All right, everybody, welcome back in. We appreciate you being with us so much again. We are having some great shows. We got another great show lined up tonight. Austin Freed, our left fielder, our resident left fielder, is in the house tonight. Yusef, they call me Mr. U, is back with us again tonight. Shane, Mr. Never Misses a Game, is here again tonight. So we appreciate all of you being here, and we appreciate our audience being here every week. Lots of good stuff. We're going to lead it off tonight with attack mode, which has quickly become, I think, maybe my favorite segment aside from the food stuff. So tonight's attack mode, it is NFL based. We picked out four of the crappiest offenses from last season, and we put them up against the Cowboys defense. So each of our panel tonight is going to pick one of those sorry offenses, which may be improved this year, who knows, and quickly tell kind of how they would overview an attack against the Cowboys defense. It's not a deep X and O thing, of course. It's just a general attack mode. Austin, I've got you lined up first. So the four offenses were the Patriots, the Giants, the Panthers, and the Titans. Pick one and go at it, man.
Well, I recently drafted Drake May in a dynasty rookie draft, and so I've been thinking about the Patriots a lot recently. So I'll go with the Patriots here. Um, Looking at their offensive line, pass blocking definitely isn't the strong suit, but they do run block way better than most anticipate. And I'm a big Ramondre Stevenson fan. I think he's, one of the 20 best running backs in the league. He's certainly not, a top 10 guy, but he's very solid running the ball and can catch out of the backfield. So I'm looking to run the ball a lot and run play action off that and get the ball in Drake May's hands. Send Tyquan Thornton down the line. He's got blazing speed. You got Pop Douglas out of the slot. He's going to run a lot of short routes, get you those kind of easy catches. You got Ramondre Stevenson out of the backfield, and then you got the rookie Jalen Polk, who's got about as sure hands as it comes in the league. He immediately is just going to be a quarterback's best friend, catching digs over the middle and things like that. He's not a great separator, but if you throw it to him, he will catch it. So I'm looking for run the ball and then run play action pass off that and just try and get the ball out quickly as possible when you're not running play action to avoid that crazy pass rush that they've got in Dallas.
I like it. Shane.
I think you hit on the most important part in the very beginning, Ben, is all of these offenses are terrible. So I mean, we're pulling a sacrificial lamb on who Dallas gets to go against on this one.
Yes.
I think Austin has a good point with the Patriots. I went with the Titans because I think with the Callahan's father and son duo, they're going to try to protect even more than Tennessee did in the past. Quarterback, out of this group, he's one of the more set ones. I think he'll be able to handle that offense, especially what they're going to look to do, kind of a Cincinnati shorthand with what the Titans can have. But like I said, I mean, I really think all of these offenses are in serious trouble against Dallas. The thing that makes it tough for them is they have a great pass rush and solid defensive backs. And if you can, shorten up that time, but also know that you have somebody covering you in the back end, it's difficult for any offense.
Agreed. Yusef, what you got, man?
Well, I already know how it's going to sound, but I'm going to go ahead and pick the Giants in this situation. They're not the best ranked. I'm thinking about the game that the Cowboys played against Green Bay where they got smashed. It was a combination of power play at running back and then, of course, the O-line play. I would think about the Panthers, but Iguano's one of those guys that's like, he's real shaky. So it comes down between him or our version, which is Evan Neal. So I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with the Giants here. I think the power game is better than the other guys. The Titans are passing the Panthers. They're power running backs now. With Tracy being there now, I think it's gonna be a lot better in that regard. The O-line play should improve with bringing Jermaine over, but we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna go with the Giants. It's a very tenuous situation because, like Shane already stated, and you said then at the outset, all these guys are not great offensively. But hopefully we get an improvement there. But I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Giants to be better than the other three teams that we got in this list. So we'll see how it goes. But
all fair. Just for the heck of it, I'm gonna pick the Panthers. Real quick, shout out to Corey, who's off coaching football for a few weeks here, and to Ronnie, who we really wanted to get on the past couple of weeks. We've been having some serious technical difficulties. Look forward to having both of them back on here quick. Just for the heck of it, I'll pick the only team that wasn't picked is the Panthers here. with the second-year guy, Bryce Young, who everybody is hoping can actually show some serious improvement this year. But I think you guys hit on it, and I'm not even going to make this Panther specific. I'm going to run first. I really think if I'm going to attack that Cowboys defense, I'm going to run up the middle, run. And then I think one or two of you already hit on it. Quick passes, quick, get it out. Do not hang on to that ball for long. And on third and longs, if I find myself in third and long, I'm not going to be very aggressive in that situation because that leads to sacks and interceptions, sacks and picks. And I don't want that. So I'm going to probably run the ball on third and long. And then if I get in the fourth and short, anywhere close to midfield, I'm going to be aggressive on fourth down, going for it to kind of make up for where I'm being shallow on third and long. So that's kind of, and a lot of you guys already hit that. But again, it's run first, then it's short passes over the middle, linebacker type stuff, but quick. And then hopefully, if we can suck in that Cowboys defense a little bit, then we take a shot downfield. But that's what I'm doing. Shane, you mentioned it, man. These offenses are not good, so they all gonna be struggling, all of them. That's all the NFL we're doing tonight. As we get probably for the next 6 to 8 weeks, we'll probably back off the NFL just a little bit because there's so much else going on, and it's at least the most shallow period for NFL stuff. We will start off with it every week. And then as the season gets closer, we are going to hit it hard. That being said, we're moving on to number 2. Here's the question. What would you have said was more unlikely 10 days ago? Scottie Scheffler's arrest on the way to the PGA or Stephen A. Smith scoring 1 basket on LeBron James? I already know where I'm going here and what I want to talk about, so I'm curious to see what y'all got. Austin, you're up first.
I'm going to go with Scottie getting arrested. I think that he's the golden boy of the PGA right now. He is as hot as a golfer I've ever seen in my lifetime, in my following of the sport of golf. It was a whole wild situation, and the best thing about the whole thing is just the community has really sunk their teeth into this one and have some fantastic pieces of content has been all over Twitter. They talk about like different bubbles in Twitter, and you've got like your NFL bubble and your golf bubble and your baseball bubble and everything like that. And your defund the police bubble has had some overlap with the golf bubble. And that little kind of Venn diagram in the middle right there has just been exquisite to watch. I never thought those two would really have any overlap, but here we are.
Here we are. It is weird watching some groups overlap that you never would have thought would have. Shane, what you want to talk about here, man?
So I love Austin's point. I think like that intersection of memes / video / $80 pants that are no longer replaceable is great for Scottie Scheffler. But I went with Stephen A. Austin because if you've ever seen Stephen A. Smith shoot a basketball, he has no hope to make a basket against anyone, let alone LeBron James. He is not an athlete. And so if you told me he was going to score a single basket against, anybody, I would have had to take the over on that. There's no chance that he's making a basket. He said before he's not an athlete, but athletes can't compete with him on the mic, which the athletes have proven they can. But there's no chance that he's making a regulation basket. Maybe if they put it down to 8 foot and somebody gives him a step stool, but he's got no chance.
Yourself, what you got here, man?
Wow. 10 days ago, huh? I'm probably going to go with Scottie on this one. I used to work for the government, so you got a problem with getting into that facility. It's all about ID, right? I show my ID. I'm authorized. They patch me in, and I go to my job. This is where you work. And you don't choose to let them see your ID or tell them who you are. It's amazing to me. It's like, it felt like he was trying to go really hard on the side of, I'm going to use my privilege to get an advantage because, I know how that is for people who don't have that ability. I'm like, this is not that. You're about to be arrested over here, and you're in front of your job. Show them your ID, tell them who you are, and then let them sort that whole thing out. But he didn't do all that stuff, so it made it a lot harder. And then with the whole resisting arrest thing, so that's the more unlikely. I seen Stephen A. shoot recently. I think it was on the set of First Take or NBA, probably the NBA Today show or the NBA post game, whatever it is. The shots didn't look bad, but it's like just on pride alone, LeBron not gonna let you get a shot off. he's gonna guard you tight just because of pride, just because of what you said about him in years past. There's no way. I'm with you, Shane. It's never gonna happen. LeBron would have to fall down and get a lucky shot for that to happen. It's like that's too much of a risk. So Scotty's more of a I guess it's more unlikely, I guess, that
All
Stephen A
right.
can get the best from LeBron. So yeah.
So I really just created this whole topic of question because I wanted to talk about Stephen A. Smith, who amuses me. Stephen A. is the master of content, right? Nobody is better at getting people to talk about him for any reason than Stephen A. There is no chance on this God's green earth that Stephen A. is scoring a basket against LeBron. Listen, just put Stephen and LeBron aside for a second. These NBA players are some of the most world-class athletes that the planet has to offer. They are tall, they are long, they can jump through the building, and besides all that, they're unbelievably quick. And the average mortal, most of us, unless we're playing high level, elite level high school basketball or higher, we are not scoring on any NBA player, much less a rather somewhat advanced aging Stephen A. versus one of the best to ever play the game in LeBron James. The only way Stephen A. is scoring a basket is if LeBron picks him up and carries him down there and lets him put it through the hoop. Stephen A. may not be able, and this isn't just Stephen, this is all of us. We may not be able to dribble the ball down the court against LeBron. We may not even be able to get a shot off against LeBron. I mean, that's just how world-class these athletes are. They're in a different league all by themselves. You got to really be up there, high school elite or higher. And if LeBron's trying to all, love you, Stephen A., but you have no chance of making a shot against LeBron James. All right, that was it. I just wanted to have fun with that. Moving on, we're going to stick with LeBron here. Topic number 3. Everybody's going to be talking about this in a few weeks when the NBA draft comes, once the NBA season is over. I wanted to beat everybody to the punch here. Question tonight, how high would you draft Bronny James if you knew LeBron would also join your team? So we're going to kind of suspend reality just a little bit here because I know someone in the audience, some ultra literal person is going to be like, well, LeBron just wouldn't go certain places. We're going to suspend that just a little bit to just more of a conversation about Bronny and LeBron. How high would you draft Bronny, if at all, if you knew LeBron would also join the team? Austin.
If I'm the Washington Wizards, I am not letting Bronny get past 2. The fact that you can wear a Michael Jordan Wizards jersey and a LeBron James Wizards jersey would just be worth every loss that you take the next season. Because you know what? You're going to be right back in the lottery the following season. So take your lumps and just get that LeBron James Wizards jersey to hang in the rafters right next to your Michael Jordan Wizards jersey. That's all.
I like it. Shane.
See, I think Austin hits on it. I don't worry about the basketball in this situation. I worry about the circus that this is going to become. There's a chance that you have Bronny, LeBron, and, say if you're the Lakers and you pull the trigger there, he does make it past that far. There's word out there that JJ Redick is also going to be your coach. So you're going to have 2 podcasters that work together. Then one of them is going to be your coach. One of the most hated basketball players in college basketball, not just because he went to Duke, but also because of a multitude of other personality traits. But I'd say second round for Bronny. Like, I get the media go and get him early, but I think that the way that that's going to work out is difficult at best. And if you're not a team that's prepared to handle that, I think you're in trouble from the very beginning.
That's the more serious side of it. Yusef, where are you going with this?
Let's create some problems. Let's create the most havoc we can possibly create.
Let's do it.
That's what I want to do. So,
Okay.
Originally, I was thinking because they have the 17th pick, the Lakers, they're probably not going to get him that high. They have 55, so they probably got to move up a lot to get him. And a lot of teams up there are probably invested in the Lakers not being good if they can help it. I'm gonna go to 20, where Cleveland's picking in the first round. Cleveland takes the boy, starts a new legacy out there. Because to be honest, no offense to Cleveland, but they actually need to have one. They need something new to happen right now out there as far as legacy goes. Everything else is stale right now, so it's a great idea. I think go ahead and draft Bronny. I don't know if they're going to make LeBron come there or not, but hey, it'll definitely stack the deck in making that happen. And you got the LeBron James legacy starting all over again in a way, and it'll create havoc, and the Lakers would be in turmoil, and it's great for me. So
I love the turmoil. Yeah, I would be all up for that. So I'll come in here. If we were like a serious franchise like the Lakers or the Mavericks or the Thunder, then this gets to be a lot more serious. I might not even do it at all, right? I may not even want that. I may not even want the Bronny thing, the LeBron thing. I'm kind of already doing my own thing over here. I don't need to derail myself.
he's not
But
ready.
listen, if I'm the Wizards, Austin mentioned it. If I'm the Wizards, if I'm the Hornets, if I'm the Hawks, if I'm one of these other NBA teams who hasn't done anything significant in, well, ever, then I really don't have a whole heck of a lot to lose with my sorry tale because I've been so bad at this for so many decades. Why not pull Bronny in and LeBron and just have a good 2 or 3 years where the spotlight is on you? And maybe, just maybe, it goes well and the rest of the league looks at you a little bit different. And other free agents kind of sort of want to come over for the next few years. The Hornets and Wizards especially have done an atrocious job. I mean, a historically atrocious job at just competing. I mean, forget playoffs and championships, just competing. It has been a disaster. So what do they really have to lose on my side of things? But again, the more serious franchise I've got, the more I'm really going to start thinking about this, whether or not I even want to do it at all. All right. We might talk about that more as the draft gets closer. We got 3 10-5-1s tonight because we're all trying to catch Shane, and tonight is the last night we can do it. He's here on the leaderboard at 65. It didn't change last week. I'm at 59, Austin 29, Corey 45, Yusef 30. Yusef hasn't been here the whole time, so we kind of low watered him and let him have a couple of shots. So that's why he's
No bonus points for that.
No, man, we're heartless,
here?
man. I scheduled 3 10-5-1s just so we'd have a chance to catch Shane. Yeah, we are heartless here tonight.
Oh, my goodness. What a
Tonight's
mountain
the last
climb.
night. Yeah, we're going to start another one probably here in 2 or 3 weeks. We'll start a whole new contest. But tonight's the last one, and somebody's going to emerge a winner here in just a few days. But the first 10-5-1 of the week is going to be the NBA Western Conference Finals Game 1. So that is, well, that's the NHL. That's going to be the Timberwolves and the Mavericks, who pulled off in some ways a little bit of an upset there with Thunder. Austin, where are you going with this?
Well, as you know, my strategy has recently been do exactly the opposite of Shane, so I have a chance to catch him. It hasn't worked out, so I'm trying to read his mind and think what I've put myself in Shane's brain, trying to think what's his reasoning behind these picks. What's he going to pick so I can pick the opposite because I don't have the luxury of going after him.
Right.
I think he's going to take the Mavericks, so I'm going to take the Timberwolves for 10.
All right, T-Wolves for 10. And Shane.
So I hate to say this to Austin, but what I did was I was thinking exactly what I wouldn't do.
No.
So Austin went against that.
No.
So in the series, I still take the Mavericks. For game 1, though, I'm taking the T-Wolves. I think defensively, they're going to be ready to go. I also think like Ant right now is a force onto himself, and I think he's going to want to put a big show on in the first game. So I think the T-Wolves, it's going to be for 10. Like I said, in the series, I still like the Mavs. I think they pull it off, but it's going to go 7 games. But T-Wolves for the first game.
Should be a fun series. Yusef, where are you going with this?
All right. Not sure who's going to win the whole deal, but for game 1, I'm going with the T-Wolves for 10. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I think the ball pressure is going to be something they're going to use against Luka. It worked well in the last series for the most part. I think it worked pretty well here too. So I'm going T-Wolves for 10. Don't ask me who's going to win the whole thing, though. I have no idea.
I'm going to pick the T-Wolves to win the whole thing, but
wow,
I do think this is a heck of a series, man. I think this is 6 or 7 games. It's only 6 games if somebody happens to just like it's going to be a tight series, whether it's 6 or 7. But I think this is a tight, fun series. Really looking forward to it. Absolutely. So I've got T-Wolves for 10 as well. I think we all went T-Wolves for 10, right? So that'll be a wash there. Next tonight, the NHL Eastern Conference Finals Game 1 starts on Wednesday night. I think this is going to be a heck of a series. I really think this is going to be a mean, banger, rough, classic, old-style hockey, skill level out the wazoo, heck of a series. Panthers at the Rangers. Austin, where are you going?
Again, got to put myself, in this frame of mind. I've got to take the opposite of Shane. I think he's leaning Rangers, so I'm going to go Panthers. I'm also from the great state of Florida, and so, that's a little icing on the cake, but I'm going 10 for the Panthers.
I like it. And Shane.
I love Austin's pick, but he was dead on in this one. I am going Rangers. Madison Square Garden, game 1. If I'm the Rangers, I start Rempe. I am ready for the fight that's going to happen. The reason why I go with the Rangers, though, right now, their penalty kill is hitting at almost 90%. I mean, that's unheard of in the NHL. Power play is over 30. I mean, they don't have a weakness right now. I think Chris Kreider probably gets you a goal. Like I said, Rempe makes a big hit. And if you can get some of those guys from the Panthers off kilter, I think that's your only shot. I love the Panthers. Kachuk is one of my all-time favorites in the NHL right now, but I don't think that they have the offensive firepower to keep up with the Rangers. I think it's going to be a tough matchup for them, and I picked the Rangers, definitely Madison Square Garden first game.
Shane, I like it. Yourself, am I right?
Yeah, well, this is when I start watching hockey playoffs. I'm just being honest about it. I'm going with the Rangers for this one. I think offensively they have the edge there. I think the defense that would go to the Panthers, but in this case, shame into the power play. The Rangers got them beat in that area, so I'm definitely going with the Rangers in this one. Game 1, Rangers. I'm going 10 on this one.
All right, I like it. I've got the Rangers in game 1 as well. I do expect this to be a heck of a series. I don't expect this to be quick or easy for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a brutal series. Before you got to go to the real finals, the real championship round. So I mean, it's going to be tough getting through this, but it may be the same thing on the other side. So hockey playoffs, just expect it and love it, right? So next up, our last 10-5-1 for the night, MLB. Who's going to be second place in stolen bases at the end of Sunday, May 26th? So that's 5 days away. So at the end of the weekend's games. The reason I picked second place, and most of y'all probably already know, is because I'm losing the name. Austin, help me out. Who's that? Who's the Reds player?
Ellie De La
Cruz.
Cruz.
All right, yeah, that's what I thought. Ellie De La Cruz is almost, last I checked, almost double in stolen bases of anybody else in the league. He is killing it. He is just having a fantastic season on the base path. So, who's going to finish in second? Austin.
Well, the Braves have been skidding. Ronald Acuna Jr. hasn't been playing his best baseball as of late, but he kicked off yesterday's doubleheader with a 3-hit game, had a triple in game 2. I think he's kind of getting his legs underneath him finally. He's right now got 15 stolen bases, so only 3 behind second. And I think the Braves are playing a lot of games. I think I don't think they have a game off in that span. And he's going to play every day. And the Braves need to get something going, and he's definitely one to be the spark for this team. So I think he's going to really try and put the team on his back and wreak havoc on the base paths like he did last year when the Braves were so successful. So I'm going Ronald Acuna.
Acuna, and how much money did you say?
All 10.
All 10. I got it. Shane.
I went Jose Caballero. Tampa Bay is always going to go with that small ball philosophy. Bring a pitcher in for an inning, get a person out, move that around. Caballero right now is doubled up on what he did last year already in steals. So, I mean, I think he has a chance to pick that up. Like Austin said, it really depends on how many games. Tampa has a couple of games in hand, so you think he can get a run. And like you said, I mean, De La Cruz is so far ahead, it really doesn't matter. If we picked 3 people, we'd still come in second. So
it's true. How much money, Shane? 10?
I'm going 10 for this.
All right. Yourself.
Oh, man. I'm supposed to agree with him, right? I'm trying to defeat him. Yeah, but I'm going with Caballero for 10. For some of the same reasons. He's averaging about a little over 2 steals the past 5 games, which is good. And it seems like the Rays play from behind a good bit. So they're pressing. They're 8 games back. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to be really aggressive on the base paths, and I think that's going to lend itself to what he does best. So I'm going with him ending up in second. Won't be really close to Ellie, but close enough to be second at least.
All right. And I was tempted with Turang out of Milwaukee, but I'm going to go with the star power with Bobby Witt Jr. out of Kansas City. for 10 spot, mainly just because I like the star power. May not be my best pick, actually, because if he's hitting home runs, he may not be on the bases as much. So, anyway, I like it. Also,
He just hit a 460 something foot home run like minutes ago.
okay,
It was a tank.
Yeah. So no stolen bases, yeah, right.
No.
So anyway, I like rooting for Bobby Witt. That's the really only reason I'm picking him here. He is on the list. He's up there. So nobody wanted Chirang. He's actually second on the list, and none of us picked him. So nobody. Okay,
thought about it, but no.
Fair enough. Final 60. Here we go, Austin.
All right. Well, I just finished the Fallout series. It took me a while to get through it. It didn't hook me like I thought it was going to. The first episode was really good, but it really caught steam at the end. I thought the last two episodes were very good. I'm not disfamiliar with Fallout, like the game series, but I've never actually like fully played through any of the games. And this show, even if you have played the games, isn't really it's derivative of Fallout, but it's not like an exact kind of copy paste of a storyline from it. They kind of set it in a completely different time than any of the games have taken place. But so if you're a fan of the series, I think you'll really enjoy it. If you're not a fan of the series, you're not like missing out too much. You're not going to be too confused. Um, it's not the best video game adaptation show because The Last of Us just absolutely knocked it out of the park last year. But I'm satisfied with Fallout. It was fine.
Austin, I don't watch a lot of video. Matter of fact, I'm not sure I've watched any video game adaptations unless I just didn't connect it. What's some of your favorites all time? I know you mentioned the one from last year. Is there a couple of just kind of classics?
So they do more movies than TV shows. The
Okay.
Last of Us is definitely the best though. Like that I've seen. It's really the only one that sticks out in my mind. And The Last of Us, if you didn't know it was a video game adaptation, you would never even think of it. It's such a good show.
Awesome. I do think that's the best when an audience who didn't play the game or didn't read the book can still just fall in love with whatever show or movie is being put out there. I think that's when somebody's really done a great job with it. Sorry for putting you on the spot there, Austin. Shane, final 60.
My 60, I kind of went in the tradition of what we talked about last week with like Mother's Day and things like that. A sporting event that always hits on me right around this time, Memorial Day weekend, NCAA lacrosse. The Final Four happens. It's traveling tournament, but I always remember as a kid, my father and I would always sit down. We'd watch that regardless of what team was in it. You know, we did pick the team. We were always a Syracuse Duke family, but whoever who was in it, you could always cheer for somebody. And that weekend really brought lacrosse, into our realm, which wasn't, really televised up until PLL started coming around. But in my area, upstate New York and central New York, lacrosse is where it's at.